First Alert commitment to you is the power of 5 meteorologists, all the tools, the latest technology, and the first team of 5 meteorologists. News 12, NBC 26 First Alert weather on your side. News 12, voted best weather coverage by the Georgia Association of Broadcasters. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Augusta University continuing to branch out into the community. We've got details on its latest partnership and impact for students straight ahead.
But our top story tonight, some alarming stats when it comes to housing in Richmond County. Housing and Urban Development says there are more than 5,000 people waiting for affordable housing right now. 1,000 more on a waiting list for Section 8 housing alone. As
we work to bring you solutions, a new development called the Lennox Project could help bring those numbers down when it comes to giving people a home they can actually afford. Our Alyssa Lyons live at the site where that Lennox development is going. And Alyssa, city leaders say this is going to give some much needed options for people living in Richmond County.
Absolutely. And if you take a look around me right now, it doesn't look like anything, nothing at all, just ground. And that's why commissioners and the Housing Authority are ready to put it to use and build a home.
Not having the right type of housing invites a certain lifestyle that I don't want to be a part of.
Joanne Saunders has lived here for 30 years. While time has passed just as fast as the cars on Laney Walker Boulevard, the lack of affordable housing has pretty much stayed the same.
Augusta has about a 24 to 25% poverty rate, and we have to deliver on affordable housing, and like we should have delivered on it yesterday.
Because the options today are slim for the more than 6,000 on the waiting list.
The main one that comes to not only this area but all around, of course, is going to be public housing. It's going to be Section 8.
Certainly you can find them in South Augusta.
But here, downtown,
I haven't seen any affordable housing. A lot of houses are for sale, a lot of dilapidated houses, but no affordable housing.
The 64-unit Lennox will serve people in the area making 80% of the median income.
For the county itself, it's around 40 grand. But when you move it to certain sides of our city, that decreases. And I know in this district is somewhat lower than that.
Another notch on what they really want this area to eventually be. Plans for tiny homes are still in the early stages, but a low-income development for residents 62 and older has been given a full recommendation to commission.
I plan to be here for a long time, and I want to see it grow. I want my grandchildren to have a place to come to. I want a place that calls home. I want people to be able to come to Augusta and not see a sore site, not see an eyesore on Laney Walker.
It's our responsibility to make sure that people have somewhere safe and affordable to live. That's no one else's responsibility but ours.
Now, this place will not only be a home, but a place for small businesses. 4,000 square feet on the bottom floor will be used for commercial space. They say that they hope to get the project ready to go by the end of this year.
Okay, that is much needed in Richmond County. Glad to see it going in there, Alyssa. Thank you. First, taking a live look here at the medical district in downtown Augusta after a stormy weekend and a breezy day out there.
Yeah, let's check in with First Alert.
Augusta University is continuing its growing partnership with the community.
Average temperatures, and that is going to continue for the rest of the work week. Our high temps will stay a few degrees below 80 until we get to later this weekend. Have a full look at the forecast for you in just about 10 minutes.
Augusta University is continuing its growing partnership with the community, and today it announced a new program with Savannah River National Lab focused on the next generation of cybersecurity. Our Will Rio explains the goal is to not only benefit students, but also our area's economy.
The Georgia Cyber Center continues to grow and expand through community partnerships. Now, this newest deal with SRNL is to ensure that there's a steady workforce with our local cybersecurity industry. As ink hit paper, our cybersecurity workforce becomes that much stronger.
Wouldn't be here without it. I absolutely wouldn't be here without it.
Jacqueline Wrdw is from Aiken and went through AU's cyber program. She stayed local and works as the Chief of Staff for Global Security at Savannah River National Laboratory.
These huge hubs of national security are here, and I think that we owe it to our peers and our family and friends to put our minds into that for everyone around.
That's the goal, to create a pipeline from our local universities to our local businesses.
We've found over and again that if you're bringing people from the outside, they might stick with you for 3 to 5 years. But having people who are rooted in the community, who have extended family within the community is really important to us.
This partnership will focus on 3 areas: workforce development, research and technology development, and global security issues.
It's definitely a win for us. Will help us continue to grow and I think increase our national prominence in the area as well.
Those areas are crucial to protecting not only our region, state, and nation, but the world.
Part of me, safety is my favorite feeling in the world, and I think that it's a human right, or it's something that we all deserve, and there's no better way to give back to the people than securing our nation.
In Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
Also this evening, a former Richmond County investigator facing charges and out of a job. Last week, investigators got information investigator Jonathan Mathis was in a domestic dispute with his wife at their home. Now the sheriff's office says he's charged with simple battery, family violence. Mathis turned himself in today. He resigned from the job last week. Mathis had been with the sheriff's office since 2015.
We're getting a first look at what the new AU Health Hospital will look like in Columbia County. It's expected to break ground finally early this summer. These are some new sketches on what they hope it will look like when it comes out of the ground, but you can see the site plans, including the exterior reception area, hospital rooms, and green spaces. The details are even nailed down to the fabric swatches and the color palettes. That 100-bed hospital and medical office will be 240,000 square feet with a level 2 trauma ER.
Some good news for the Wild. If you live in Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp announcing the first round of surplus tax refund checks. They have been sent out. You have to have paid and filed taxes for the last couple of tax years to get this refund. Single filers getting up to $250. Head of household filers getting $375. Married filing jointly couples get a max of $500.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
To sports now, it's been a busy couple of weeks for sports over at Greenbrier High School. The Wolfpack's girls soccer team heading for a state championship. The baseball team has home field advantage in the playoffs.
And News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us now from Greenbrier's baseball field with the update on the Wolfpack second round playoff game. How are they hitting them, Dan?
Richard and Laura, the second that you step on campus, you can feel the excitement, the energy, and the buzz of all the Wolfpack fans who are excited about this great time for sports for them, but who are also here tonight to root for their baseball team with hopes of them getting into the third round. Now, we've got burgers, we've got fries, we've got creative signs from a lot of the fans, which are pretty funny, and we also have some beautiful weather. It's everything you could possibly want for a baseball game. Now, early on, the Wolfpack did fall behind in this game, and to Northside, in fact, and in the bottom of the second, they ended up having bases loaded, but left them on there to remain at 2-0 at that point. Then let's go to the bottom of the third with the scores. They ended up scoring 2 runs in this inning, one of which was off a balk by Northside's pitcher, which was a big momentum swing in this game, tying the game at 2. But then everything changed in the fourth inning. You could feel the momentum shift happening, and then with the bases loaded once again, Bryson Bell from Greenbrier had a 2 RBI single, then ended up tying the game at 5, and then the very next batter after that was Mark Abell, who had an RBI single of his own to help them take the lead at 6-5. They ended up scoring 6 runs in that inning in the bottom of the fourth to be able to take the lead 8-5, and we are currently in the bottom of the fifth, and they are currently still up 8-5. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this one finishes out, but throughout the rest of the evening, I'm going to have continued updates on this game, as well as their soccer team, who are getting ready to be the first Columbia County team from the girls' soccer side of things to ever play in a state championship game. But for now, reporting from Greenbrier High School, Dan Booth on your side.
Okay, good luck to all of our teams competing out there today. Thanks so much, Dan. There's also some competition in the upcoming race premiere in Grovetown. City Councilwoman Deborah Fisher officially announcing her campaign today. Fisher has served on City Council for 5 years. As of now, she'll be running against current Mayor Gary Jones.
Still to come, love them or hate them, you're going to be seeing more of them, and soon. Coming up, expert advice on how to survive this upcoming snake season.
And we are going to start off the first week of May cooler than average with a lot of sun, but also some pretty breezy conditions. Update on the forecast just after the break. Over the next several nights, as we do see those cooler nights all the way down to the 40s. Full look at the 7-day forecast, staying dry through Friday. Only the chance for a few isolated showers shows up by Saturday.
I couldn't find anything about the wind in a rhyme.
Nothing.
Maybe I was thinking in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Okay, yeah,
Like
there's
March.
that. I remember that too.
Yeah, that was March. Whatever. It's either way, the time of year it's come for it to warm up, and we know that's when snakes start warming up, moving around, slithering and sliding into your yard. So the question is, what do you do when you see one?
Besides scream, which is totally involuntary, by the way. Our Will Volk is on your side with advice from the experts on the types you'll see in our area and how to keep your cool if a snake gives you a surprise.
Mary Pruitt has a snake wrapped around her neck, and she doesn't mind.
Feels good, actually. It's nice and cool. And he's not squeezing.
She's studied snakes for years.
They're quite a passion of mine. That and they're misunderstood, so that makes me love them even more.
Pruitt says they get a bad reputation. When you see a snake slithering, you may think it wants to go after you, but she says it doesn't.
No snake is out there looking to attack a human. We don't have any snakes in Georgia that are big enough to eat a human, so it would be a waste of their energy to even try and come after you.
Pruitt says in our area, most of them are non-venomous.
I think it's important to remember that we have almost 50 species of snakes in Georgia alone, but only 6 of those are venomous.
But still, what if you encounter a snake and you're afraid?
Best thing to do is just leave them alone and go the other direction.
Pruitt told us you could try spraying it with a hose or calling a snake removal expert. But whatever you do, she says don't try killing it.
Trying to kill one puts yourself in danger of being bit, so better to just leave them alone.
And in the end, isn't that what we all want?
They want to be left alone, just as much as you want to be left alone.
In Columbia County, Will Volk, on your side.
All right, leave them alone. You have a chance to help make a miracle happen at the Children's Hospital of Georgia. Coming up, how a simple Costco purchase can help make a difference in a young patient's life.
First Alert Radar.
I'm not backing down.
Never Back Down Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This month, Costco and the Children's Hospital of Georgia making donations for local kids in need easier than ever. After you're done shopping, you can donate as little or as much as you want right at the register.
St. Halliburton looks at how your dollars can make all the difference for kids in our community.
Costco shoppers, this one's for you. During the month of May, checking out will look a little different. That's because the store is looking to raise as much money possible for the Children's Hospital of Georgia.
The biggest thing is that it stays local. It helps local children in need here. It goes to the local hospital. So it supports the community. We love to support the community in any way that we can, and this is a big part of it for us.
Whether you're shopping online or in person, you will be asked if you would like to donate to the Children's Miracle Network. That money goes straight to the Children's Hospital here at home. Costco manager Chris Kaiser says they've even taken trips to spend time with the kids at the hospital.
It's always been a huge focus of Costco, just as a company, but also Augusta in general, just to keep it in our own hometown, to keep it with the people that, mean the most, the kids that we see in here every day.
The Costco in Augusta and the Pooler location near Savannah have raised just over $500,000 for the Children's Hospital of Georgia since 2012.
Well, it means a lot to me personally because I've experienced friends and family members that have needed the help, as I'm sure we all have in some way.
If you make a donation at one of 2 of those locations, 100% of donations go right back to kids.
Whether it is a new bed for our NICU or our Child Life program and our facility dogs, those are making a difference for kids directly, and we couldn't fund those things if it weren't for partnerships like Costco.
Throughout the month, you can find employees taking part in different activities to help raise money, such as dressing up in different colors and themes to help push the campaign. No matter how big or how small of an amount you choose to donate, it all makes a difference.
I would say to put yourself in that perspective. If you're a parent of any kid, you would need that help too. So if $1 isn't going to break you, give as much as you can.
Reporting in Augusta, Zana Halliburton on your side.
And remember, all that money stays local. We love that about this.
Love it.
For 36 years, Costco and its members have raised more than $500 million for Children's Miracle Network hospitals all across the country.
Really impressive. And you do have from now until May 31st to make a donation at Costco. When you check out, you can do that either in person or online. And 100% of the donation goes straight to the Children's Hospital of Georgia. I really can't beat that. Going to give you a live look right now at the North Augusta City Council meeting. 3 newly elected council members, Kevin Toole Eric Presnell and David Buck will all take their oath of office any minute here. We just had the mayor finish up speaking, but the mayor pro tem will be selected by City Council tonight, so lots happening at the North Augusta City Council meeting, and we'll be sure to let you know what else comes out. We've got a crew there, obviously, so we'll update you at 11 o'clock.
In Augusta, people who live in the Grimo place in Columbia County are still fighting to stop a rezoning request for a radio station in their neighborhood. The Planning Commission did okay that rezoning, and tomorrow night, the full commission votes on the controversial topic. Our Nick Veland spoke with neighbors there who say they're not backing down.
Neighbors are still fighting a rezoning request with fears for what might happen to the Grimo Place neighborhood.
Safety, traffic coming through here, and another thing is the devaluation of our property. I just can't help but think, people wouldn't want to buy somewhere knowing it's going to be a thoroughfare for somebody's business behind the neighborhood.
Final say will be at the commission meeting tomorrow night.
I'm apprehensive, but, I'm still trying to stay positive.
If approved, Mark Baranowski will be allowed to expand his uses on the site and allow for up to 10 employees. The Planning Commission approved his request, moving to the full commission where the 5 commissioners will have the final say.
It's kind of disappointing when all 30 residents stuck together and signed that petition, and they ruled in favor of one person. It just didn't seem fair.
What's in the air is a modified request as an attempt to appease the neighbors. If approved, Baranowski would only be able to do these services in the future on the property, which is 10 fewer items than originally asked for. Even with the fewer uses, neighbors still don't want to see this request go through.
Well, not really. Some of them felt a little bit better, but, like we said, majority of people don't want the S1 period.
In Columbia County, Nick Veland on your side.
So far, Baranowski has declined at that meeting, bringing you the latest when it happens.